The new Ghost of Tabor update just dropped the other day, and here's everything you need to know about the update so you are prepared to drop into your next raid. This video will cover how the new bunker looks, as well as a lot of the features that they have added or tweaked in the game. We have fully kitted vests, tier 1 to start out with. I don't see helmets yet. We got an M4, an AK, MP5, 2 MP5s actually, 2 Mag 10s I want to say, 2 mags for every single weapon except for the MP5, interestingly enough. Looks like, what, 2 Glocks, 2 Markovs, 2 knives, 2 grenades, 2 other grenades. If you didn't know this before, you actually did start out with all this loot, but they actually didn't show you on your walls. Now it's auto-sorted and put onto your walls for you in your armory, but before it used to be in your trade room computer. This was a small change that they did. Also, the armory is way smaller. As you can see, there is a lot less room for stuff, but it does look nice, and honestly, the change of a lot less stuff means people will hoard a lot less as well. I think maybe if you have a DLC, you can get the extra room over there. Oh, look at this. Is still a thing. This is no longer a thing. Storage room. Oh, you start with stuff. Gasoline. This is for the new generator. The storage room might not have a lot of storage, but it's definitely going to be useful for us in Ghost of Tabor. There's also now a can of gasoline you start with for the power generator, which is something new to the game. I don't know exactly how it works yet, so if you do, please let us know in the comments down below. I think the other thing in that shelf, I did not know what it was either, but I'm pretty sure it's a water filter, because now you can fill up water bottles in the sink in your base. You also start off with a bunch of the med syringes, which is going to be really useful if you come back to your base injured. While we take a look into the kitchen, let's see what other updates they added to the game. We're going to start with the bunker. The bunker has had a few updates, including ones that help you when you accidentally forget to store your gear. There's new updates in place and safeguards in place, so now if you log off with gear on you, or if you drop gear before you go into a raid, it should be reset and put into your trade computer. One more thing about the bunkers, they actually added another new room called the vault, where you can actually see how many karunas you have, which is the in-game currency. And you can also take out stacks of karunas and take them into raids, which is really interesting. I think they thought this would be a good idea in case you wanted to maybe give another player some of your money. But they also did it in a way that they added risk to taking some in. Or who knows, maybe later down the line there will be traders in the raids that have special items that you can't get anywhere else. That covers basically everything in the bunker, but let's go over features that are actually really cool and new to the game. Oh, look at the water. I feel like the water looks way different. Starting with a really requested feature, and has been teased a couple of times before, we are getting mag palming. It is in the game, and I think it's kind of a cool thing because a lot of the times you'll actually end up struggling with your magazines while you're trying to reload in a fight. It'll make the gunfights a little more intense knowing that your opponent can reload way faster. This one's kind of smaller. The NPCs now have to aim before they can shoot at you. I haven't really noticed a big difference, as they're still really annoying, and honestly, I hate when they beam me, so let's just not talk about NPCs no more. Back to huge features, there is now supply drops on Island of Tabor. Now, I personally haven't had the time to loot one yet, and I wish I had some extra footage of mine to put in here, but I'll put some other footage in here so you can see what a supply drop looks like.
You made it?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Oh god, it's gonna happen. Oh no! This is so fucking scary. Holy fuck!
Honestly, this is really exciting, and it gives you a reason to stay on Tabor for a little bit longer. There's also now a new death screen that when you kill someone, it'll tell you how far away you killed them from. These are being worked on right now, but apparently it will give you updates on your missions and stuff after a raid is over. Also, both of the key cards, orange and purple, have been put back into the game, and they work for their original purposes, except for the orange card now can open up an extra extraction point, which I think is really cool because you can honestly get away with your loot much easier now, and it might be a little less scary to use your orange card. Also, in the patch notes, they say they have reworked some of the grip modifiers, preventing grabbing items from other players. When I read this, I thought maybe a few things would be harder to grab, but I jumped into a game just to test it and find out if they removed my favorite feature, which is actually stealing weapons from other players. So to check if this feature was still in this game, I loaded into a raid, I found a ppsh, and then found some players that might have been willing to help me. Yeah, I need help. So, what's it called? In the patch notes, it's like something about taking gun. Can you take my gun from me, or did they change that?
Oh, you can't anymore. That's cool.
Damn. That sucks. That was like my favorite feature. After they helped me find out this feature, they actually removed it, and I'm so sad because I actually love betraying people. But he did recruit me to his team, so I thought maybe I would just play out this raid with him without betraying someone for once. But since this isn't a gameplay video, I'll sum it up real quick for you. We found someone in the main building of the I see someone military camp. I don't know what you want to call it. I call it military camp. We found a man, and they were going, and they actually opened up the key card room. We heard the alarm go off, and we knew we had to storm the building. Within 3 seconds I made a plan.
Here, I'll go through bottom, both of you guys go through top.
I would take the building from downstairs, and the 2 teammates would go upstairs to fight them. I ended up killing one of them, and a teammate got another, but we lost our mute teammate in the fight. This really sucked, but me and my teammate both made it out, and I actually stumbled across one more player before we made it out, and it scared me because, you know, they could have ended the whole raid.
Up here, up here, up here.
But I used my Dragonov and eliminated the player, and he had a stacked backpack with a drum mag, which are actually kind of rare and OP. After that, we made it to Beach House, which was a successful exfil, and that was amazing. But yep, that's the whole raid. Just gonna cut it there. I'm not gonna make this a gameplay video for you guys. They changed a lot of little things, and most of them aren't really that notable. There was no major changes to the silo map, but in Island of Tabor, there's a lot of little fixes. They fixed a hole near a lab. They fixed the concrete barriers, the ability to grab dead bodies inside of the lab, fixed the ability to see inside and outside of the tent windows, fixed 3 loot boxes that were not accessible / hard to access, improved the light map resolution in certain areas. And that's everything for Island of Tabor. A lot of little things includes bug fixes on the knife damage, magazine loader, various issues with the ammo crafter, magazines loading empty into raids, and a bunch of other stuff I have listed here for you guys. I don't want to bore you by just saying every single change, so here you go. They've also changed some models of the MP5, 1911, and Glock, so those are kind of cool. A few other models too, but they're not listed here. If this video was helpful, please leave a comment and tell me something new you might have learned from this video, or something that I can learn from you guys about this update that I might not have listed here and haven't seen myself. If you're brand new to Ghosts of Tabor, click on the video on the left. It's a starting guide. You can skip over the bunker portion because that's kind of something that's been changed a lot now, but there's a lot of useful tips in how to raid. That will be the video on the left, but if you're already into Ghosts of Tabor, or maybe you just don't want to play it and you want to see the funniest moments, click on the right video because that's me betraying everyone, and I'm telling you, best video ever.